Welcome to Verbal Big Video, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. As again, another school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, by an 18-year-old. What's going on in society where 18-year-olds are going out committing such horrific mass shootings? I mean, they don't have anything else to do. All this social media, video games, summertime, looking for you a summer job, cutting yards, creating a business online. I mean, so many things that they can be getting into, but yet they want to solve personal issues and sociable issues with the gun. Now, we all know the idiot in Buffalo who killed black people at the grocery store. That was strictly race-related. But I don't know if you can say this about Salvador Ramos, because he's Hispanic. And let me give you the breakdown. He's a Hispanic male, but Uvalde, Texas, according to the 2019 census, is 84.4% Hispanic. Right? They got majority of their crimes is theft. Just a small 0.1% of murders. 23.9% are burglaries. 0.1% is rape. 6.4% assaults. Auto thefts 4.7%. Arson is 1.9%. Theft is 62.1%. So they only had 0.1% of murders in Uvalde, Texas, meaning it's not really a high crime area. So it leads to question, what would the 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, he was a student at Uvalde High School. He's been identified as the gunman in the Robb Elementary School shooting today in Uvalde, Texas. Let's get into it then. Let's see what's going on with Salvador Ramos. 14 students and a teacher are dead after shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas on Tuesday, according to Governor Greg Abbott. The 18-year-old suspect, a student at Uvalde High, is also dead, he said. He shot and killed horrifically and incomprehensibly 14 students and killed a teacher, Abbott said during an unrelated press briefing. The suspect also allegedly shot and killed his grandmother before entering the school and again opening fire. Abbott said the shooter, identified by law enforcement sources and the governor as Salvador Ramos, had a handgun and also possibly a rifle. When parents drop their kids off at school, they have every expectation to know that they're going to be able to pick their child up when that school day ends. And there are families who are in mourning right now, Abbott said. The state of Texas is in mourning with them for the reality that these parents are not going to be able to pick up their children. 2 responding police officers were among those injured, Abbott said. They are expected to survive, he said. Uvalde Memorial Hospital had said 15 students were being treated in the hospital emergency department in the wake of the incident. 2 patients were transferred to San Antonio for treatment, while a third was pending transfer. The hospital said a 45-year-old was also hospitalized after getting grazed by a bullet, the hospital said. University Health in San Antonio said it had 2 patients from the shooting incident, a 66-year-old woman and a 10-year-old girl, both in critical condition. 2 adult victims of the shooting, both in critical condition, are also being treated at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio according to an Army official. A number of the shooting victims are children of Customs and Border Patrol agents. Law enforcement sources told ABC News. Let's read that again. A number of the shooting victims are children of Customs and Border Patrol agents. What's going on? What's going on? So you go to a place and you want to shoot the children of Customs and Border Patrol agents? What's the logic? Did he leave behind a memoir, a manifesto, a diary, documents, anything to give an understanding on the motive behind this shooting? Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin did not confirm casualties, but told ABC News in a text message that this is a very bad situation. He said, "The office is trying to contact parents before releasing any information." Earlier, the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District had said a shooter was located at Robb Elementary School and asked people to stay away from the area. "There is an active shooter at Robb Elementary," the school district said on Twitter. "Law enforcement is on site. Your cooperation is needed at this time by not visiting the campus. As soon as more information is gathered, it will be shared." So Uvalde CISD, this is their tweet. "There's an active shooter at Robb Elementary. As soon as more information is gathered, it will be shared. The rest of the district is under a secure status." A school official initially told ABC News that the shooting took place off campus and that Robb Elementary School was under lockdown, but it took place on campus. The shooting occurred shortly after 11:30 a.m. local time. Police said the school, which has students in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, informed parents shortly after 2 p.m. that students had been transported to the Sergeant Willie DeLeon Civic Center, the reunification site, and could be picked up there. Parent Ryan Ramirez told San Antonio ABC affiliate KSAT he had gone to the Civic Center and the elementary school trying to find his 4th grade daughter in the wake of the shooting. "I'm just confused and worried. I'm trying to find out where my baby's at," he told the station. Uvalde, Texas is located about 90 miles or 90 minutes west of San Antonio. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office and San Antonio Police Department are spending aid, and the FBI is responding. Are sending aid, and the FBI is responding. The Houston Field Division of the ATF, Firearms and Explosives, also said it is assisting in the investigation. The Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, has been briefed on the situation, and the agency is actively coordinating with federal, state, and local partners. A spokesperson said Customs and Border Protection officials in the area also responded to the scene. The National Counterterrorism Operations Center believes there is no known terrorism nexus at this time, according to a law enforcement bulletin obtained by ABC News. So basically they're saying, hey, there's no known terrorists at this time, but what's the motive? Did he leave anything behind stating why it was on his mind to go to a elementary school and start shooting, start killing? Or was he in that much pain with his family and his grandmother? After he killed his grandmother, he said, "I'm going to make sure the world feels my pain." Now they ask, how can we stop acts like this? Unnecessary violence. You know, we've created a culture in America that should have been checked a long time ago. Now, back in the 70s and 80s, you had these groups, certain groups, moms against this, moms against that, people against this, and they would protest, and you're not going to put this business next to this daycare. You're not going to do this. You're not going to have a strip club next to here, and they protesting, and we're gonna keep the sanctity of community in check. We're not gonna allow certain things to take place. But now in 2022, when they were pushing blurred lines, trying to blur the lines for some type of agenda, it's like you have people who think it's okay, they're getting ready to make some money, or they don't study into why someone would ask them to do certain things, and they don't look into it. They just do it and don't realize years later, when they see the reality of what has become, they're like, wow, I had a hand into creating such a horrific painting. Yeah, you had a hand in it. You say, well, I was used. I was just doing what they told me to do. Hey, I was under contract. I had to make this type of song. I was under contract. I had to do certain things. Or they told me if I didn't do this, that this would happen and whatnot. But there's no innocent victims. Someone behind the scene, the puppet master, that's pulling the strings, is creating incidents in this country to justify somebody's reasoning or somebody's new way of life that they want to see in existence in this time and this day. And those who know better and want to do better and love life, they're suffering. But you can't come out and speak against what you know that will lead to destruction, because everybody come after you. But then after a horrific act such as this takes place, they ask the question, well, how did this happen? What could we do to stop it? Come on. You created the atmosphere for something like this to happen. You created the mindset. You created the pieces to where only thing that was left to do was to connect the dots. But the question is, if it was purposely done, then why? What could you possibly get out of a young man shooting 14 children and one teacher? His life is ruined. Hell, he killed himself. Or he was found dead amongst one of the victims. He's no more. It's crazy. Like I stated, the idiot in Buffalo, the Buffalo idiot, shoots 10 black people just because, looking for black people to shoot and kill. Right? And they say, what can we do in a time of crises? Well, you can protect yourself. You can throw out any rhetoric that tells you not to protect yourself. Because what it does is, it makes you a victim. Right? And we need all the people to work with and unite with to bring forth some type of unity or justice. But you can't if you're dead. You can't if you're not on alert and if you're not understanding that there's people out there that actually just want to take you out. So what are you going to do to defend yourself? You're going to say, well, I was told to turn the other cheek, so if they shoot me, it might be God's will. When God said He wanted you to have life more abundantly, meaning preserve your life. He didn't give you talents and gifts so you can sit there frozen and let somebody take you out. He put in a defense mechanism in every from insects to animals to human beings. Everything has a way of protecting itself. Now, honestly, okay, during slavery, they stripped that natural instinct to protect ourselves because the slave master was beating and torturing since we were children, as a child. But it's time to shake that off, right? And put the right thing to do up front. Meaning, it's okay to do right, be right. You want to be right. You want to do right. That way, when wrong comes, you can check wrong. You have the heart to check wrong. Otherwise, in your mind, you'll think that, well, if we get out there and sing enough, we get out there and sing hard enough, maybe things will change. If we get down on our knees and we pray that there'll be unity amongst the races, things will change. Well, that's the way you think. And that's how you see it. But that's not how your enemy thinks. And that's not how your enemy sees it. Your enemy comes to inflict harm and pain, no matter how many songs you sing, no matter how many cheeks you turn, no matter how many people you convince to love them till one day they love you back. Because you're not going to be here to see it, because they're going to take you out before you even see the day where they love you back. Even if, or if it's even possible, if they're even capable of loving you back. And I'm talking about the starch hardcore supremists. I don't think they have that gene, that mechanism in their body to see you the way that you want them to see you. I don't think you can paint the picture to where they can see it and say, hey, you know what? I gotta start seeing the black man and the woman as my brother. I don't think you have a method to make them do that. That's why it's 2022 and you got more hate and race crimes against black people in America. But while we sit around and wait for the day where we all can sing Kumbaya, I think that folks should start learning how just to protect themselves. That's all. Not saying black people trying to get out and go out vigilante, and no, meaning, hey, protect yourself. You know, they coming after you, let them have it. Protect yourself. Don't go out there looking, seeking for trouble, trying to hurt someone, but protect yourself. Because you don't know how deep and how serious the hate goes. You're just trying to figure out, and you're confused on why there is hate. And so since it's not a real reality for you, doesn't mean that it's not a real reality for others. I mean, think about it. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.